This video is brought to you today by Ghost Tags. This is my own company that I started because I wanted a glow-in-the-dark AirTag case. These things are awesome. You can stick them on your backpack, on your dog's collar, and you will be able to find it at night. We've got two colors, blue and green. They've got great reviews. Go check them out. Links to them down below. Now on to the video. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Slim and you're watching Slimothy TV. In this video, we're going to quickly go over a bunch of new information that we now have about the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro. So we've got a ton of features and changes that are expected, as well as an estimated date for release. So a whole lot to go over. Let's get right into this. Of course, if we know the release date, we can also estimate the date that the event will happen. And that's something that we're also going to mention here. The first things I want to go over are for the iPhone 15 Pro. So I'm going to go through each one of these and I'm going to let you know which ones are probably going to happen, which ones probably aren't. The A17 Bionic Chip. This will be the first 3nm process chip from TSMC that's in an iPhone. And this is going to make some decent performance and efficiency improvements. I've seen some other YouTubers mention that it's going to be huge. It's really not going to be, enormous leaps and bounds, but it's going to be a continued process because there are diminishing returns as you keep making these die sizes so small. You can see right here, it says the standard iPhone 15 and 15 Plus will have the A16 Bionic. Of course, that is kind of expected. This all sounds highly plausible. Next up, titanium frame. Now this would be awesome. And I think Apple might have to do this to kind of switch up the look of the phone because honestly, the iPhone 14, 13, 12, they all look kind of the same. People have them in their mind of what they look like. So Apple needs to differentiate these Pro models, especially if they're going to increase the price. So a titanium frame would be absolutely great, much stronger than stainless steel, which is currently what's on them. Personally, I don't see many scratches on mine and I don't even use a case. A lot of people, they get the edges real scratched up and it looks really bad. So titanium should help with that. It'll also be a lot lighter. Next up, ultra thin bezels. This is also likely coming. So just to show you guys again, we already reported on this a while back, but you can see here how much thinner those bezels are gonna look. And here's just a mock-up of what that could look like versus the older phones. It's gonna look pretty sweet. Next up, USB-C. Yes, the iPhone is finally getting USB-C. It's about time. This will give us much faster data speed transfers, which is going to be great, especially when you're offloading videos and huge files off of your phone. It just takes forever with Lightning. That's why everyone just uses AirDrop. USB-C, thank you, Apple. We're finally gonna get it on the iPhone 15 Pro models. Regular iPhone 15 models will get USB-C as well, but it's gonna be USB 2.0 speeds. So, ouch, that sucks. Also, Wi-Fi 6E, this is something most people probably don't care about. I'm a network guy. I love to see these improvements, especially in the iPhone. So getting Wi-Fi 6E is just going to future-proof the phone and make it that much faster on supported networks. All right, next up, increased RAM up to 8 gigs so that your phone can keep more in the background. This is going to be nice, especially with more data hogs these days like Facebook. A lot of people are using Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. I mean, when you're switching between those apps, those things use a ton of RAM. So a bump up to 8 gigabytes will be quite nice. I'll mark my words, you heard it here first. This is going to be one of the worst things that happened to the iPhone. That's going to be the action button. This is going to be probably my least favorite change to the iPhone in a very long time. I mean, the headphone jack was one of them and the fingerprint scanner. I guess the headphone jack really sucked the most, but the action button and getting rid of the mute switch, it's just gonna, this is not the way to go, Apple. This is going to be an actual button. I love using the mute switch. I keep mine muted 24/7. My phone is absolutely never off of mute. So I always like to be able to just look down, see that little orange strip. I know that it's muted. I don't have to worry about it. But if this is a button, I don't know how it's going to convey that it's, muted and whatever. So I don't like this idea. I think Apple is making a mistake, but they want to change stuff up. So whatever. Now the 15 Pro Max will feature a periscope telephoto lens, according to Quo. This is going to allow 5 to 6x optical zoom, but this is only going to be for the big Pro Max, so we will not be having that in studio. I hate that model of phone. It's way too big. It does not even feel like an iPhone. Feels like some Android piece of crap tablet. Trust me, you try it once and it's just like, no, never again. That size of phone is ridiculous. Hopefully in the future, Apple will figure out a way to put that on the regular Pro for normal people that don't want to carry around that junk. For now, that's supposedly just going to be on the Pro Max. Again, this is just another poor decision by Apple to fragment the devices, but maybe they'll see if it will increase sales. In the past, what they did, they used to fragment and put the better stuff on the Pro Max or the Plus models, I guess, and the regular size did not get them. I think Apple realized that that was hurting their sales. So they started to make them, feature parity where the Pro and the Pro Max both had the same features. Now I guess they want to go back to changing it up again. Although this is likely due to the size. That telephoto lens is going to take up a lot of room. Ultra wideband improvements. So this is going to be nice if you like to use AirTags, which shameless plug, if you have an AirTag, go get one of our Ghost Tag cases. They're awesome. This is also used with the Find My app and AirDrop and precision finding, all that. We will get some ultra wideband improvements. Hopefully they can figure out how to make the EMF a little bit lower, because right now, if you take an EMF reader to AirPods or an AirTag, it is off the charts. It's not good. So I don't like that. LiDAR scanner improvements. iPhone 15 Pro models will have a more power efficient LiDAR scanner. This one will be supplied by Sony, and it could improve 3D depth scanning performance. I don't use any of that. I guess night mode photos, that's the only thing, but I don't use AR apps at all. More repairable design. So it's basically going to be like the 14 series in that sense. And lastly, eSIM-Only in certain countries. That's going to be, it's going to keep being pushed as more countries can adopt that. So those are the quick rumor roundup for the iPhone 15 Pro. Now let's talk about dates. So let's go through this article. We'll break it down paragraph by paragraph. Basically, Mark Gurman from Bloomberg is stating that he thinks the Apple event will actually take place on Tuesday, September 12th or Wednesday, September 13th this year. Now, if that were true, that means that pre-orders would go live on Friday, September 15th. There have been rumors floating around, I don't even think it's mentioned in this article, that the iPhone 15 Pro will be delayed. I'm here to tell you that is likely not the case. From what I'm hearing that it will just be super limited production. So there will be less of the Pro and Pro Max on the market, but there will be more iPhone 15s and 15 Pluses, if that makes sense. So if you want one of the Pro models, you're gonna have to pre-order and be quick about it because they could sell out quickly. But hey, you're hearing it here first, so you can kind of plan around it and get your ducks in a row so you're ready to order that. Now, in case you're wondering why Apple always holds it in the first 2 weeks of the month, this basically adds significant revenue before the company's fiscal quarter wraps up. So it makes it look like they've sold, a ton of product for their investors. The reason that we're thinking this is because a report from 9to5Mac last week claimed multiple carrier partners have blocked employees from taking time off on Wednesday, September 13th in anticipation of a major smartphone announcement. But it's funny here, it does say it's not clear why the employees couldn't take that day off because that's just the announcement. It's not, a pre-order day. But this almost makes sense because if you think about it, if the event was on a Tuesday, a lot of people might come in the next day into these carrier stores looking for the new device. So they don't want to have a shortage of staff on that day. Maybe that's why. Hard to say for sure. But if the event was on Wednesday, September 13th, why would they block their carriers? I don't know, unless they're going to give them special information maybe when they're there. But you can see here they're commonly held on Tuesdays, which is kind of lines up with what I'm just saying. So I'm thinking it's going to be on Tuesday, September 12th, but we'll have to see what Apple decides. They could always move it, but we won't know for sure until about a week in advance because that's when they send the invites. In case you're new to this, that's pretty much every single time. That's when they send the invites. So just be prepared the week before Tuesday, September 12th for some invites. That has been a quick wrap up of all the iPhone 15 Pro news. You are now up to date, as well as when the event is going to be and when the possible pre-orders could happen. And of course, after the pre-orders, they come in the next week, which means if you pre-order on the 15th, you'll probably get your phone on September 22nd. Now that would be perfect this year. We definitely don't want to see delays. We want these iPhones out as quickly as possible. If you like the video, hit it with a big thumbs up and subscribe. I got a lot more coming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.